empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
What's the story, wrestling fans? Inner Circle has their office back. Trent's mom is back. AEW is on fire tonight. All that and more coming up on the Wrestle Story. Welcome back to the Wrestle Story. We discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars, the present, and trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Wednesday after AEW, and every Friday after SmackDown. How's it going?
We're gonna have to change that.
We're gonna stream every day of the week, people.
Wow, I thought this episode of AEW was quite fabulous. I really enjoyed everything from like top to bottom.
I was not expecting anything big as far as the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be a decent show, but I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a really good show.
I agree. I thought it was really well done. I liked all the stories that they're building up. Even some things that I haven't been a super big fan of in recent weeks, I thought were displayed really, really well on this show tonight, and I enjoyed everything.
Well, the thing is they, and I've said this before, AEW builds up their mid-card people.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes their pay-per-views so much better.
Yeah.
And you don't have to put your superstars out there. Yeah, you still get, like, Omega quite a bit, Moxley quite a bit, but even they miss a couple weeks here and there. Mm-hmm. And because you're building your mid-card people. And it makes it so much more interesting. And I don't know, I just like it. How you doing, John L, Futuristic, Johnny Lee, Zandel, and Ains? How's it going? Great to have you guys here. We're doing good. I don't know if I let you well, but I don't know that you got ripped off on those glasses, Maven. The lenses are missing.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Crap! She didn't get ripped off. It would have been me that got ripped off. What are you talking about, Ains? I paid for them.
They don't have any lenses in them. They're just plastic, rinky-dink glasses. They were for a makeup look that I did today, so I just never took them off.
Yes, there is a makeup look that she has that's coming out that's actually pretty cool what she's doing with it. So
I didn't take them off. I just kept them on. So thanks.
She feels smarter with them.
Thanks for
How you
looking
doing,
out
Cody?
for me, Ains. Thanks for looking out for me. Oh man.
Ains was ready to send you glasses that actually have like lenses in them, so you could like have lenses.
So I could see.
Yeah.
Oh man. man. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this show. Hope everybody is doing well.
Raymond, how you doing?
Oh man.
By the way, I did see new theme. My song, I remember it from the Fight Club ending. Yeah, you know what?
I like it.
I mean, everything.
I like that Tony Khan has gotten actual music for people. Like, it's like what they do on like the indies and stuff, because it's not like a televised program. They can use whatever music they want to, and so they pick a song.
They use whatever song they want to, because nobody hears it except for the 7 people that are
but that's
at
what
the
I'm
indie
saying,
scene,
though.
so
It's
that's
not like
why.
a televised thing, so they don't need like their own theme music.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about like someone going,
exactly.
Hey,
it's not
he's
like a
using your
you can't
music.
use it type of thing. So they use actual music at indie shows, and I think it's really cool that Tony Khan is bringing in some of those elements with getting the theme songs for like Jungle Boy.
I agree.
And Orange Cassidy. I think it's really cool, and I feel like people know what the songs are, and I don't know. I think it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. One of the makeups I've seen on Instagram gave me chills as a man. I like to admit that I have fear.
Probably my most recent one where I tore my face out.
Probably the one where you look like you were like burnt up or something. Yeah. The card through the face was kind of a scary one too.
That's kind of wicked.
I'll look out in the hood for some lenses. If I don't come back, I've been kidnapped and buried in somebody's yard.
Oh my goodness! So should we just
hang on, Ains? Does that happen frequently around where you live? Like, they just dig up somebody's yard and find somebody that was buried there? Because,
Now I'm going to get advertisements on my phone for shovels and dirt and stuff. Because the last time that Ains was in here, he was talking about, Girl Scout cookie weed or whatever. And
she started to have Girl Scout cookie weed on it.
Girl Scout cookie advertisements on my phone. So now you're talking about being kidnapped and buried in somebody's yard. I'm going to get advertisements for shovels and dirt.
Or just like morgues and stuff.
Or that too. Yeah. any of the 3.
Funeral homes.
So thank you.
When you die, come to our funeral home.
So, should we hop right into it? I think we should, because we started out the show with a banger of the match, Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian. I thought this was fabulous. I knew it was going to be a good match. I think it was a good way to start the show. I think that Christian sold like nobody's business. They both looked good, and it was a phenomenal match. It kept my attention.
It did. You know what? And people are going to complain. They're going to go, well, they didn't make Christian look like a Superman, just have him destroy him. I'm going to bet there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to say this, but those are the same people that said, why is he already getting a title shot?
The thing is, I don't think he needs to be built like a Superman. I think you can have him do these types of matches because his entire gimmick thus far is outwork everyone. And so that's exactly what he did tonight.
He did. I love what they did. This whole thing, this whole match, I felt was really good. A lot of close calls. Just the work between the two was awesome. And it wasn't, Christian took a beating for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I felt they just built it up well.
I agree. I think this is what they need to do with Christian Cage. I think that you can put him out there in matches with, Frankie Kazarian is pretty established, but you could put him out there with some of your more mid-card guys and have him put on clinics with whoever they want to, and make this person look good, but you can still give Christian Cage the win in the end, as long as he's helping get them over.
Well, even with this match, I wouldn't have been disappointed if he had gotten beat.
Because it was a fabulous match, and I think both of them came out of this looking good. Even though Frankie Kazarian
I think
lost,
they could have, because the way AEW does storylines, they could have done a storyline where he got beat, and he's got to go. They show him in a promo next week going, I got to work harder.
I got to go and outwork everyone.
And so, it could be a build up to his character, what he does. And so I think it, even if he would have lost this match, they could have had a storyline built up to where, and it would have just shut everybody up about, all the people that have been saying that, well, they're just bringing him back to go for the title. No, they're not. Obviously, they're not. They're building him up. They're going to do what AEW does.
And I enjoyed this.
Yeah, so did I. Raymond says AEW was awesome tonight and stars return. Women's roster is getting healthy again with Statlander returning. Was awesome. Perfect way to bring Trent back too. Raymond, they do an outstanding job of bringing in returning talent. Surprise stars.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that what AEW has done has brought life back to wrestling. And, you know, with some of the stuff. Now,
I get what you're saying. I absolutely 100% agree with you, because I say it often, but not all the time. Before AEW came along, I mean, all I ever watched was WWE. I didn't watch Impact. I didn't watch New Japan. I didn't watch Ring of Honor. I didn't watch anything aside from WWE. So for the entire first portion of, you know, my I love wrestling type of thing, I was all WWE. And, like, I love WWE, but it gets to a point sometimes where you're, like, in this slump of, like, the same thing over and over again, and you just sit there week to week, and you're just kind of like, you know? And AEW came around, and like you said, it was really, like, a shot in the arm for the wrestling business, because I think that they've made stuff exciting again, and it's not that, like, I ever didn't like wrestling, but it was sort of like you're just worn out, because it's the same thing all the time. And I feel like AEW is doing something new all the time, and it's really exciting to watch, and it's really fun to, like, be involved in, like, the whole AEW thing.
Well, the thing is, they're telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
And the key is to build those stories up.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they screw up, they tell a story.
Yeah, they make fun of themselves, and they continue on.
So,
they write the story differently.
You know, it's not like, you know, they just... I feel WWE, and this is, people are going to go, you're just AEW fans. No, I'm a wrestling fan. I want to see good wrestling. I don't care if it's WWE, Impact, AEW. I don't care. Put on a good show, and I will like it. You know, if you don't put on a good show, I will, you know, we'll talk about how much we hated the show. Mm-hmm. And I feel that what AEW has done is again, they focus, and I said, you know, I said the women's division would be, like, once they started to get people healthy, mm-hmm. you would start to see the women's division pushed more.
Yeah.
I feel they're starting to do that. Now, we just gotta hope everybody stays healthy and nobody gets hurt and we don't have, you know, issues there. Mm-hmm. But I think they've started to push the women's division. And with what they've done with all the way from the lower card guys to the top superstars has been amazing. Yeah. And, you know, it makes you want to watch again.
Well, that's the thing about it is, like, every week I'm really excited to watch AEW, and I'm really excited to see what they have to do. And it's just, like, AEW is the show that I look forward to most during the week. That I'm so excited to get on here and run my mouth.
Well, again, it's about the stories. If WWE would do the same thing and have their stories, you know, somewhat interesting, and push some of their mid card people or lower card people, it would probably be a lot more interesting than what they have right now.
Mm-hmm. I think last couple of weeks, especially for WWE, I think that the last couple of weeks they've done better. This week for Raw was terrible. But I think the last couple of weeks they've had some high spots on their shows and they've done better. But it's a matter of continuing to do better and not just have one good week and then 17 bad weeks where we repeat things over and over again. You got to continue. You got to keep it moving, because if you don't, you're going to lose people.
Oh yeah. So, Will Raleigh Sport, how you doing? Ace says, I bought a pair of shoes from a drug dealer today. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. Will Ains, he might have had that demon blood or whatever that Lil Nas has.
Blood?
What did the
It was a drop of human blood.
Say human blood, demon blood, same thing. Whatever.
Human blood, demon blood.
Maybe he went with demon.
Thing?
Maybe he went with demon blood and just skipped the human blood because, you know, he knew you would be tripping.
Okay, yeah, speaking of that, real quick, because you said that, that company that's doing those shoes is getting sued by Nike because Nike's not a part of it.
Yeah.
My question is, why didn't they sue them when they made the Jesus shoes?
Well, because they thought God would be cool with it.
But the Satan shoes they're being sued for.
God's not cool.
It makes no sense. But
God's
whatever.
not cool with the human blood being put into shoes. Forget that stuff.
Man.
Did y'all see Renee's podcast with Baker and watch AEW Unrestricted with Rosa? If not, go watch it both. I'll have to watch them. I've heard about Rosa's Unrestricted
I listened
interview,
to,
but I didn't hear
I
it.
listened to the Renee Young's podcast with Britt Baker. I thought that was really interesting, and I thought it was really fun to listen to. I love Renee Young's podcast.
I'll have to listen to him.
I think it's phenomenal, and the people that she has on. I listened to the Sami Zayn one from today or from yesterday or whatever it was. And
I got some new earpods that I get to use now, so now I can just hook up my phone and listen to it.
Podcasts. But yeah, I listened to that. One thing that Britt Baker
or AirPods.
said.
What'd I say? Earpods?
Whatever. I don't know. But
AirPods.
One thing Britt Baker did say is she got asked something about Adam Cole, and if she said that she would love for them to work together, but she's never leaving AEW, so he's gonna have to come over there. So Adam Cole would have to come to AEW and leave WWE behind.
I don't think that, as long as people are being paid, as long as things are going good, as long as AEW continues to do the things they're doing,
I think the environment is just super
I
cool.
don't think that company will have, other than money, if someone wanted the money or had some mental breakdown and they couldn't, make it through a la Kylie Ray or whatever her name was. Was that her name?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Other than that, I don't think that anybody would leave AEW as long as AEW wanted to keep them.
The environment, it just seems like really chill and cool, and everybody respects one another. And Britt Baker was also talking about on that show how much everybody helps her, and how much of a collaborative effort it is, because she gave Tony Khan ideas for the unsanctioned match, and then Tony Khan took those, put them into the stuff, and then she gave more ideas on different things that they wanted to do, and it was a very collaborative effort. And so they get a say in stuff.
Well, I think that's one of the things, everybody that I've heard from AEW, all the wrestlers, everybody that's worked there has said is that they have an input on what they're doing. They feel like they are a true family, and that there's other organizations that they've worked in that just aren't a family organization. I just think that it's one of those things that as long as they keep doing what they're doing, I just don't see them losing people again, unless it's a money issue, or somebody feels they're not being pushed or whatever, which is going to happen just because they try to use everybody in some way.
Yeah.
So I can see somebody doing that.
Yeah.
AEW stands for Assassinate Entitled WWE. Did you see Renee's podcast with Bailey came out today? Really good.
Yeah, I saw the Bailey one too.
I have not seen it. I'll have to watch
I've listened to a lot of her podcasts. They're really good.
Yes, they are starting to push the women as long as they can stay healthy. And don't forget, AEW has another hour somewhere in future on TNT, so they're going to really help everyone, especially the women.
I think that what's really going to help them is they have so much time that they can put people on. They have Elevation on Monday, they have Dark on Tuesday, and then they have AEW Dynamite on Wednesday.
I think this is really what's helped. I mean, they could put them in a performance center and things like that, but I think putting them out there on YouTube has helped some of these people get better at what they're doing.
Well, I think so too, because they sort of have a crowd to play to, and it's not just
Well, you play to the crowd, but you also you could film yourself in the performance center or something like that, but it's not like a real setting.
But that's what
it's
I'm saying.
It's kind of like practice.
That's what I'm saying. Is they get sort of more of a real feel for things because
Yeah.
they're out there.
Yeah.
On the big stage.
Yeah. But I don't know if I said hello, Lewis. How you doing? How you doing, Maddie? Great to have you here. No, Ricochet's girlfriend Katie Catanzaro returned tonight on NXT. Ricochet's on Raw. Yes.
Dude, I thought she had like a torn ACL or something.
Yeah, I thought she did too. Kylie Ray, Mr. G. Wait, there's so many Rays. Kaylee Ray, Billy Ray. There's just all kinds of Rays.
Billy Ray?
Yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus. I'm a Waste Baker's. I'm Waste a Baker's fan, but now she's a heel. I like her more. I will, but still don't want her winning against certain ones. See, I like what she's done has been amazing. She went from being terrible to I think being one of the top stars in wrestling.
I think so too.
All of wrestling.
I think so too. I think it's not even just women's division. It's that she's one of the top stars. Period. Like, not even putting any labels on it.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of the best in the business right now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fangirl over Logan Paul showing up. That man is so handsome and is better looking than my 80-year-old neighbor, Bruce. I'm so excited. Woo! Oh.
We know your audience.
I've watched 2 classic Stone Cold Steve Austin matches, a classic Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle, Pro Wrestling Eve, AEW alongside the Gimme a Whole Yeah stream. Now I'm here. That's all today. We appreciate it, Maddie.
Dang.
Thank you for stopping by. Also going to watch the MLW show later. I'm a wrestling fan. If it's good, I'm there. Well, since you're here, I'm assuming you're saying we're good. I'm hoping.
Casey had a torn LCL, Maven. Okay, well, there you go. Whatever. ACL, LCL. I didn't know what it was.
Yes.
I think he tore something. So,
Yeah.
anyways, Christian Cage won his match. Like I said, it was really, really well done. Really enjoyed that. We then get a Darby Allin and Sting video. Darby says that he has all the money, that all the money in the world.
How you doing, James?
Can't buy Matt Hardy respect.
This whole promo is good.
I love the Darby promos. I love the whole black and white aesthetic of it all. And then, like, he does this whole, like, the paper face thing with, like, the eyes cut out of, like, his opponent or whatever, or whoever he's feuding with. I think it's really cool. And, like, I like what they've done with it. And he sets things on fire. It's a neat concept.
The thing is, even with like, I'm not sure Sting has to do much.
No, not really. I mean, especially if they keep him with Darby and they're doing stuff with him.
Well,
Sting really doesn't have to do much.
No,
I mean,
and
Darby kind of carries.
The thing is,
okay.
everybody we talked about, Sting's gonna come back. Great, the 65-year-old guy's gonna come back and wrestle and do this stuff and do that stuff. I think what he has done is just brought life to the storylines with Darby Allin without actually being involved in the storylines.
I'm sorry.
Funny.
That was funny.
So I think without using Sting in the ring, I think just what they've done is really good. I mean, it's really good. Let's see here. That mask was funny. Yeah, what he did with it was cool. I mean, just the whole promo was awesome, and I love it. I love what they're doing with it.
Me too. So
I like this promo. Definitely a good promo. Here, real injury helped her with promos and making her heel turn more believable. Baker has to win the belt by being heel. Would be awesome. Her as face champ, I don't think would work. To be honest, I don't think she needs to win the title.
No, I mean at this point, I don't think she needs to. I don't think she needs to win the title. I feel like the title almost needs her, because I think at this point in time, I think the title needs to be elevated, because I don't think that the women's title has necessarily been used to the best of its abilities. And that's nobody's fault, like, at all. They just didn't have a ton of women around, so they couldn't really do much other than what they did.
The thing is does the title really need her? I mean, think about this, okay? They have really not had all their women there yet. Mm-hmm. Looks like they're starting to get healthy. We're starting to see more stuff done with the women. Mm-hmm. And I said once they started to get healthy,
we'd be in business.
You would start to see more of the women's wrestling. But they've had so many people injured. COVID hit, so they couldn't bring in people from other places.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just something that's everything lined up to where that you weren't going to get a lot of the women's stuff happening just because of that. And I think that we will start to see more women's, more storylines from the women coming out over the next several weeks and from here on out. I think the one thing they do is just like they do an outstanding job with all of their talent.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna watch Wipeout tomorrow for John Cena? Possibly, Cody. I might watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it when it's on, but I'll catch it later. I like you guys and talking wrestling. I'm a wrestling geek. Well, Maddie, we're great to have you here.
We're great.
We are great, Maddie. So it's a good thing you found us.
We're all wrestling geeks. My favorite segment in wrestling at the moment is Maven and the missing lenses. Until she finds them, we're all under attack from her rants. Gotta shelter, folks.
We all are, Maddie. Welcome to the club. Yes, welcome to the club. Guys, I got food poisoning here in Tampa. Hopefully, I will get out of the hospital for Mania. Don't ever eat at Zaxby's. James, you didn't listen to anything I said. I told you, eat at your hotel. And you're going out to eat. Had you listened to me, right now you'd be sitting in your hotel, not having to worry about whether you got out because you got food poisoning. James, you let me down. Hello, recently ordered. How you doing, Clark? Great to have you here. I ordered 2 WCW DVDs and ECW DVD online, but I'm not going to buy any more online for a while because buying lots eventually piles up in cash. It does, Clark. It does. Peacock is stupid for taking off all the non-content. I think it will backfire on them. Cody, what Peacock is doing, like, what is the point?
I don't know. I understand why they're taking stuff off. Like, super, like, whoa, can't believe that ever even made it to TV stuff. That shouldn't have been on TV in the first place. I can understand them taking that off, but I don't want them to over-censor it. I don't want them to over-censor the content. I think that they should just put a warning on at the beginning.
Put a warning out there.
Because I think it takes away, it's like, people are still going to find the videos anyway, like on YouTube, or they have them on DVD or something like that. So, like, I get it. It's like some of it is really risky, and a lot, like, the stuff that shouldn't have happened, I'm okay with them taking off. But I
think they should have just left it on and put a disclaimer up saying, hey,
a disclaimer. Yeah, a disclaimer I think would have sufficed.
Yeah. How you doing, Jack? Great to have you here. A lot of us thought Sting would be more inventor than wrestle. I think he's great doing what they're doing with him. Yes, I love what they're doing with him. I think that what they're doing with him is outstanding. And I don't think that there was any, a lot of people are like, they're just going to bring him in. He's going to wrestle. The guy's like 75 years old, and he's going to wrestle and get killed. He's going to look bad. No, I said wait and see what they do with him. Wait, give them time. This was bringing in a big name just to mentor people. Maybe later give Baker a title, but do it as a heel. But maybe it's the right time to elevate it. Yeah, I think that. Well, and I think that's where you will start to see the women's division will start to pick up. Lewis says, Maddie, they have merch. We do have merch, Maddie. We do. At some point in time, you'll see a thing that tells you where to go for our merch. We're at Teespring.
Jack, I know I'm old, but do Maven's glasses have lenses? No, they don't. They have no lenses.
She did a...
they were for a makeup look that I did today.
Yeah.
They're just like a cheap pair of glasses, and I popped the lenses out. They were sunglasses, and I popped the lenses out of them for the makeup look that I was doing. So that's... And I just never took them off.
Like everybody's asking.
I know! I don't even understand! Like, I've got glasses on, and everybody's like... They have no lenses.
Yeah, there are no lenses in there.
No, there's not lenses. Like, I could, poke myself in the eye, okay?
Yeah.
They do not have lenses in them because I was using them for makeup look early and I just didn't take them off.
Yeah.
Because I thought I looked pretty friggin' snazzy.
Yeah.
So...
She's, like I said, she's got a makeup look that's coming out. It's pretty cool. She's still working on the stuff and video and the pictures and stuff, so... would you guys prefer Peacock putting out a disclaimer rather than remove the content? Yes. I would rather just have a disclaimer put out there saying, hey, this is what it is. And then people have a choice to go whether they want to go watch it or not. Remember that time Eric Bischoff said to Sid, "What's the matter? Can't find your scissors?" Yes. I have no problem. The problematic content still exists, and it just doesn't fit NBC standards. I feel sorry when the one person reviewing the content gets to New Jack stuff.
Yeah, they're just gonna be like, wait. Okay, from like here to there, we're just gonna have to take out all of that.
Why would you like worry about that? You just go, okay, there's New Jack. Oh, cut out. Oh, here's the end of it. He's no longer up. Gone. That seems like that'd be one of the easiest things to do is just cut out where New Jack is. And then, we noticed because we've been wearing masks for over a year, so anything from your eyes up, you bet your peacock we will notice.
So there you go. Yeah, they're not actual glasses. They're sunglasses. And
yeah, they're not actual glasses.
They're not actual glasses. I just pop the lenses out.
Yeah.
Because I'm cool like that.
Yes.
So. Yep. But I do actually wear glasses.
Yeah.
I do wear glasses.
She does wear contacts or glasses.
I have actual glasses because I'm blind. Blind as a bat without them.
Yeah.
And so, but I have contacts in right now.
That's why when we don't have our glasses on, we walk
We're
around.
not like.
We walk around the house going like this.
Man. So, we then get a Jade Cargill promo, and I thought this was, I don't know, did you see this?
No, I actually stepped
I
out
thought
this
this was
I missed
really well done. I really like Jade, and I think that she can cut a mean promo, and I think she's a superstar. I think they just need to put her out there in more matches.
Well, I think she will. Again, I think the women's division just needs to pick up, and you're starting to see it. So I think it's just a matter of time. I'm named after New Jack. Well, Jack, I knew that. I knew you were either named after New Jack or Kennedy, but I wasn't sure. So if I were you, or it could be Jack the Ripper too. So any one of those three, I was thinking, and I would think two of those three you wouldn't want to be named after, so I wouldn't even claim that. You know. To be fair, those sunnies suit you. I work with what?
Nobody knows.
Yoo-hoo! I read about the Sid Orange Scissors fight. I would never have wanted to witness that fight. I would rather be living through the COVID pandemic than I witness that fight. Don't look right with glasses. Sorry.
I said I work with so many who don't look right with glasses.
Oh, gotcha. Well, he left them.
You had to read the comments together.
Well, that's because he left the N out of many. So I was like, Ma, why? Who? I was trying to figure out, like...
Oh, man.
Nah, I'm named for President Kennedy. See, I knew that, Jack. You've told us 100 times. I knew who you were named after.
So,
I knew you were named after New Jack or Jack the Ripper.
We then get Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall in an exhibition match. And Cody stated before this match that he was not going to hurt QT Marshall. So he didn't hurt QT Marshall.
No.
QT Marshall hurt him.
He should have.
So the match ended up ending when QT Marshall punched Arn Anderson for no reason. And Arn Anderson fell to the floor. Everybody hopped in the ring. And then we had, I'm going to butcher all of their names because I haven't seen enough of them to know how to say it. Mr. G, I'm going to let you take this.
With what?
It's Aaron Solo.
Aaron Solo, Nick Kamoroto, Anthony Agogo, and now we're going to start dancing. Attacked everyone else.
Yep, those three students of QT Marshall's ended up attacking
the
Cody
Nightmare Family.
And the Nightmare Family. Lee Johnson, Dustin, whatever the other guy's name is, the Gun Club.
Great segment. I loved it. Loved what they did.
Attacked him.
Excellent. Excellent.
I am glad to see those three guys being used on Dynamite now, because they've been used on like Elevation
Yes.
and Dark for such a long time. And I think it's really cool to see them sort of break out and be able to be used on Dynamite.
Yes, this was excellent. I love what they're doing with this. It's giving your lesser talent or your not named talent a chance to shine.
And so ultimately Dustin got busted open. He took a pile driver on the steps. QT Marshall tried to do the same thing with Cody, but Red Velvet came out and stopped him.
Yes.
Quite honestly, I would have liked to see QT Marshall
Clobber. That would have been interesting. That would
I
have
would
been
have
interesting to see that happen.
I would have liked for it to see him just not care whatsoever and become the biggest, baddest heel, and beat her up.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Or at least, knock her out. One of the two.
Yeah, I think that would have. But maybe he's just thinking, well, I can't do it right now.
Maybe he sort of stood there and thought about it for a second and was like, he still held on to that chair or whatever.
I can't hit this girl.
And then he walked away.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see him totally
Mr. G, if you could guess my real name, what would you guess? Pain in the beep.
Who?
Ains.
Oh.
That was Ains. Wait, that's just probably what your mom said when you were growing up. My bad. I'm kidding, Ains. My new name is Head of the Table, you guys. Just honor... Whoa, that skipped fast. Just honor me as the head of the table every time I come into the live stream. John L., I would, but I can't. You can all blame my wife and Nina for wanting to go out to eat. James, always blame your wife. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Just blame her. I told you not to do it, and you did it anyway. Anthony Agogo is one of them. Yes, actually, I'm named after no one. I've got first and third name as my mom's. Not too creative. It's okay, Jack. It's okay. I think Jade needs more in-ring work, which I think we will start seeing her on Dark and Elevation because she's cutting great promos in her feud with her Velvet. It's going to be a drawn-out story to build her up. I agree, and what they do is awesome. I like what they do with it. Jack the Ripper did strike a few miles from here. Well, that's
I love that you wrote Ripper in capital letters.
That's not good.
Everything else is
Everyone, don't forget to visit the Wrestle Story store. Yes, don't forget to visit our store. Somewhere you'll see a thing that tells you where to go.
It's epic.
Cleaning a parking lot, but listening.
Cool.
That sounds like fun,
Cool,
Lewis.
that's fun.
Sounds like fun.
It's fun. That's fun.
Exactly, Lewis, where do you work? I'm just curious.
Cleaning a parking lot, obviously.
Does he just pick a random parking lot and go, I'm going to go clean that parking lot?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, or is it a specific place? One night I witnessed two guys fighting at my local strip club. Clark, you just messed it up right there. One of the guys got busted open. When the police showed up, they asked me what I saw. It was scary. Well, you should have said, what did I see before the fight or after the fight? Can you all remember my real name? No way, Bronco, I can't. Nope, can't. My real name is Ethan Quam. For some reason, I don't know if I should believe that. I mean,
probably the lull at the end.
Yeah. I just.
Also because it's Ains.
Huh?
Also because it's Ains.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I can believe that. I have the same birthday as a current Doctor Who. That is cool, Jack. I haven't watched the new Doctor Who. I need to.
I don't either.
James, you should have listened to Mr. G. We're all disappointed in you. Yes, James, we're all disappointed in you. I remember telling y'all one time in stream, I even used it to watch y'all stream. I just told you, Futuristic. I told you what it was. I might order something from y'all's store to support y'all's channel. We appreciate that, James. That's pretty awesome. Weirdly, my ex spelled it mom. She's from Birmingham and evil. Birmingham's evil or your mom's evil? Because if you're saying your mom's evil, that's...
Or his ex is evil?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that could be evil.
Well, that's what I'm kind of confused by. Weirdly, my ex spelled it mom. She's from Birmingham and evil. So I was trying to figure out, is his ex evil, his mom evil, or is Birmingham evil? Maybe all of them are. I clean CVS parking lots, 5 of them, work under the table for the district manager. Well, that's pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with working under the table. Although it's easier to work over on top of the table because the table, depending on how tall the table is, could make a difference. It's my actual name, dude. Well, Ains, I just pictured you as this big bad dude, and then you tell me your name's Ethan.
This big bad dude.
Like,
what's wrong with the name Ethan?
Well, nothing, but it just reminds me, it's like Mike Tyson. You hear Mike Tyson talk, right? You don't see him fight, and you see him, you go, what are you little weenie? And then you see him punch somebody, and you go, oh my God!
Oh, man. That is funny.
My best friend is a YouTuber. We're going to be covering a lot of wrestling WrestleMania weekend. By the time we're done, we're going to not even be able to sleep. Jonelle, I know the feeling.
We're doing the same thing.
Do you expect my name to be Kyle, like Kyle? No, Ains, I was thinking Frank. I thought you were going to be Frank. And it's Ethan. Ethan. I was thinking Frank.
To be completely honest, he thinks everybody is Frank, okay?
Yeah, I do.
So,
I call everybody Frank.
So,
in fact, it's so bad that now my 3-year-old son, like he's playing with characters. I go, what's that character's name? Frank?
Frank.
Man. You actually remember my name. Remembered it. Holy crap, I'm shocked. The first YouTuber that actually remembers my name. Futuristic, I told you, man. I told you. Don't ever doubt me. I just, I remember things once in a while. I spell it mum, but I have my American degree thing. Plus, I want to integrate with American audience. Why are we disappointed in James again? Because I told James, I said, when you go down to Tampa, do not go out and eat at a restaurant. I said, do not do that. I said, James, eat at the hotel. James went out to eat at a restaurant, and he got food poisoning. That is why, Jono. My ex kicked my heart in the backside. She's more evil than Ultra Devil. So, she kicked you in the back? Is that what you're saying? Because that would be kind of the backside of your heart. I told you I'm going to watch WrestleMania 17 tomorrow. To commemorate its 20th anniversary, WrestleMania 17 happened on April Fool's Day. That's interesting. That is interesting. Ethan from my Mission Impossible is sheer bad bum. Yes. Okay. Just for you, Mr. G, my name is John the Hitman Wick. Now, Ains, now that's better. That's what I'm talking about. John the Hitman Wick. That's how I'm going to remember you now. You are no longer Ethan. You are John the Hitman Wick. Congrats to Chuck Taylor. That whole segment was good. That was good. Definitely good. And I appreciate having kisses blowing at me. Thank you. I'll never doubt you ever again. That's a promise. Yes, Futuristic. Don't ever doubt me again. Don't eat anywhere in Florida. Half the food comes from alligators' intestines. That's kind of gross. That means the alligator had to have eaten something and they just rip it open and
Ew, that's gross.
Ew.
Oh, man. So, after this, we get an Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky promo. They say that they're very bitter and they're going to start taking what they want starting Monday. So on Monday, we're getting Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. This is on Elevation. We're getting Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus somebody. I don't remember who. I am intrigued by the pairing of Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
I'm intrigued by it, but I love the promo.
Me too.
They were finishing each other's sentences.
Which I thought was cool. They were sitting right next to each other in a dark room. And they started with Ethan Page and he started, and then Scorpio Sky picked it up, and then Ethan Page, they went back and forth. I thought it was a really cool way to do a promo, and I'm interested to see what they do with each other.
Yeah.
Because I think that they could be a cool tag team. I think they're both, not that they're both being underutilized, because I don't want to say they're being underutilized because they're making it on TV. But for the gimmick's sake, they're being underutilized and they're tired of it, and I think it's really cool to have the both of them working together.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. I think that it's going to be a way to bring them into
major storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think that it's, again,
I think they might
just the way
tag
they're
for a
building
bit.
stuff up is good.
They might tag for a bit, and then they might get an opportunity to do something, and then they're going to end up fighting each other, which will then split them apart, and they'll go their separate ways in, like, the singles division. That's what I would assume we're going to do.
Well, I think long-term booking, I think that they will face each other down the road.
I think they're going to tag for a while, then be given an opportunity to do something, or there will be a singles opportunity for them both to go after, in which that'll spark, like, we hate each other.
I do too, because I think I would seeing them, the two of them in the ring together, I think would be good.
I think it would
against
be
each other.
I agree.
Let's see here. Back when I was in the U.S., I'd leave the movie theater with 3D and remove the lenses when I come home. Two hated WrestleManias I like are 13 and 2000. There's been 2000 WrestleManias, Clark? He hated WrestleMania 13 and WrestleMania 2000. Clark, are you going to live that long? Because that's a long time from now. Did you go to the future? Is that how you got to see WrestleMania 2000? You let your son call different characters Frank? No, John Nell. I'd let my son call all his characters Frank. Don't eat in Florida. You might be eating Tom Brady. Yeah, don't do that, man. Well, you might want to. For as healthy as he is, you might want to do that. To Mr. G for being my best friend online. We'll appreciate that, Ivan. Appreciate that. James, you should have listened to Mr. G. I told you. Just, James, you let me down. Minnie M, what are you drinking?
Raspberry lemonade.
Yes, raspberry lemonade. 13 has its moments, Clark, but 2000 end of Lost or Sopranos level dumpster fire. Jack, you watched WrestleMania 2000 also? You guys went to the future, man. You guys are Marty McFly.
Oh, man. So after this, we get a Red Velvet interview where she gets interrupted by Jade, proceeds to get thrown into one of those carrying case thingies, like the rolling cases.
Yes.
She hit that thing hard.
She did.
Like, it did not move.
No, it didn't move much. It rolled just a little bit.
A little bit, but like, she, like...
Well, those cases are heavy anyway.
Yeah, and, like, she really, like, out.
Yeah.
Like, that probably hurt a smidge.
Yeah, just a little.
So we then get a Jon Moxley promo, and I thought this was hilarious. He's super mad about, Kingston getting his leg squashed and, broken in half. And he says, Tony Khan has put me in a match with, Cesar, Bononi. And, I mean, that guy could be a star. I mean, he's got superstar written all over him. If I don't kill him tonight in, the match. So I don't quite know why you would put him in the match with me, because I'm gonna, go kill him.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what it was. It was funny. Moxley's delivery is hilarious.
It is. And what he did here was good. I love the whole thing. You could be a star, but I'm gonna kill you.
You could be a star.
So you're not gonna be a star.
I think it was really funny.
Yeah.
So we then get Jon Moxley versus Cesar Bononi, with JD Drake and Ryan Nemeth on the outside. Jon Moxley won. I think we were all expecting that, but it was a decent match.
The only thing I did not like about this match was the ending. The ref, was looking at, Caesar, and he was, laying there, and you could still see his arm was, tense, so it wasn't like he was out completely. Mm-hmm. They needed to do the arm raise to see if he, dropped it and was out. I mean, that's what they should have done. Yeah. To figure out if he was, out and over and it was done. I don't understand why they didn't do something like that. Mm-hmm. It would have made a lot more sense, and it would have made it more entertaining doing it that way. Yeah. It was a thing in the year 2000 for things to end with 2000. I know, Clark. I'm just giving you a hard time. I've been to 3,984. Jack, that's a lot. That is a lot. After review, both of you guys tell me your two favorite WrestleManias. I will do that. Did you guys use the DeLorean? They did. WrestleMania 16 had the worst main event in history. Mr. G works for the Illuminati. Confirmed he poisoned the food so he could steal your ticket, Mr. G being sus, he invented. That's right, James. Tonight, I'm stealing your ticket. Mr. G is the president in the future. Well, that is cool, Ivan. I don't know if I want to be president, though. McMahon in every corner. Vince is still in charge, and it turns out Maven became the first elected female president. Oh, yeah, POTUS, see?
Man. So we then get a Team Taz promo. Essentially, Starks and Cage are ready to kill each other. But Taz is still telling everybody that everything is fine. Everything's fine. And we have Hook and Hobbs who are sitting in the middle of this, and they're just like...
They could go two ways with this. They could make this like an all-out, they break up, there's a problem, there's a huge problem. Or they could make it this is just kind of a little spat between two people within a faction. They get it, work out their kinks, and they become friends.
You know what I think? I think what would be really cool about this, I would really like to see. I think that Brian Cage could leave.
How you doing, Aunt?
I would like for Brian Cage to take Hook with him. Because I feel like Hook, at this point in time, he might not be ready. I don't know. We haven't seen enough out of him. The small bits and pieces that he has done on television, I've been intrigued by.
How you doing, Grant?
And I've thought
Thanks for stopping in.
that they've looked good. So I want to see more from Hook. And I think that because Brian Cage has had Hook come out with him a lot on his dark matches and on Elevation, I think that taking Hook and having him go with Brian Cage would be a really fun twist. And that sort of is what makes Taz angry at Cage, because Hook ends up choosing Cage over his dad.
Yeah, see, and that's why there's a couple ways they could go with this. Is Hook trained? Yes, he has been training. He has actually been training for this. He has, so yes, he's been training, definitely. Thank you for inviting me. Hey, anytime, man. We love having new people come in, talk wrestling. Sometimes we go off the rails and...
All the time. But
yeah.
That's okay. That's
okay,
what makes this cool.
Yeah, Grant, you're going to find that we go off the rails a lot of the time. I think that, again, I think it's one of those things where they could set this up, because everybody's going, oh, they're going to split up. So they could set this up to where, okay, there's just going to be a little spat between them, and then they're going to be just fine. Or they could have set it up where, like you said, they do something where we have a true
regardless
split.
of how they do it, I really want to see Hook get involved more, because I feel like we haven't seen a ton of him thus far. And like I said, I don't know how. I don't know if he's ready to wrestle into matches. I don't know. But I think that it'd be really fun to see him do some stuff. Yeah.
I agree. I think him doing some stuff would be cool. And I'd like to see, how good he is actually and how much he can do. So that's one of the interesting things that could come out of this, is we see something big come out of this, and again, like, what they're doing is really good. I think that it's pretty interesting where they're going with some things. Mm-hmm. Duncan says, I am not really used to watching AEW at the moment. The wrestling was great, but I feel they are trying to put too much into the matches. Duncan, the thing is I think they've added life to storylines.
Yeah.
And when you add life to the storylines, it makes things so much interesting. And with what AEW has done and continues to do, mm-hmm. is they have storylines you don't know which direction. Like this whole Team Taz
thing.
Like I said, there's a couple ways they could go with this, and it makes you want to come back and watch it again. Mm-hmm. And it's not just go out and wrestle and beat somebody up. It's not just... the promos are a huge part of what they're doing. Well,
the thing about it is, like, when you're talking about different...
Hello, Dan. How you doing?
Different ways to go with the storylines. An example of that would be the MJF stuff that they were doing. Everybody thought that MJF was going to take over the Inner Circle, but then they totally pulled, went left field on us and didn't do that.
Yeah, they
did something different than nobody was even expecting them to do. Well,
that's just it. And I think that's why their storylines are so much better, because you don't have a clue necessarily on where they're going to go with a storyline. Mm-hmm. Which makes things more interesting. It's not just, it's just not so bad to the point of to the point of where people go, I know what's going to happen, and then it happens.
Which I think
Now,
is really cool.
you kind of have to like figure out, you know, where they're going to go with things, and it could go totally opposite of what you think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jake? Great to have you here. Let's see here. Kind of get caught up in some chat here for a second. Duncan said, I'm not really used to watching AEW at the moment. The wrestling was great, but I feel they are trying to put too much into the matches. Duncan, I think that the one thing about it is I think that AEW tries to tell a story rather than just having everything match related.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more into like the matches and more into everything that's going on just because of, you know, the stories they're trying to tell. Rails, yes, Grant, sometimes we'll be talking and someone will say something in chat and we kind of go off of, you know, we're like on the train tracks talking about the show and then someone brings something up and then we're like,
no longer talking
we just
about
crashed
the show.
off the train track.
I spent 15 minutes talking about something that happened last week on Raw.
Yeah. So you know, it's one of those things that we try to stay on the show, but it doesn't always work because someone will bring something up.
Just come in here and chat. That's all.
Yeah, it's just chat.
It's all
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So after the Team Taz promo, we had MJF and his gift to the Pinnacle. He says that they hired an interior designer so that MJF could get rid of the stench. And then he opened the bathroom door. The inner circle was standing in there. And then a huge brawl began. Sammy smashed Spears' head between the door. Hager ended up slamming Wardlow through a massage table. Santana and Ortiz took FTR outside through, oh my gosh, what's his name? Cash, that's his name. Cash threw Cash into the ice bath. And Dax was busted open, bleeding everywhere. And then Jericho put MJF's head in the toilet. And then threw him through the soda machine window. I like the way they did this because this wasn't like a backstage segment, like a backstage brawl type of thing. I mean, it was, but it was sort of in that like cinematic style, you know? Where like it doesn't look like it's this backstage segment because of the way they cut the cameras and how they went back and forth with stuff. It was more of that cinematic style type of filming, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I liked about it.
Well, the whole thing was good. I felt that this was a good segment. I love the fact that I loved when he opened up the restroom door and there is the inner circle. Like, how did they not know that they came into the bathroom? Because I'm assuming there was only one way into that bathroom, which was walking through that office. And they just magically... And they were standing there at the door waiting.
Yep.
Like, what?
Yep.
So, you know, it was good. It was good, I thought. Raymond says, I'm old school, remember promos cut by Rhodes and Flair, Anderson Brothers. Against Briscoes, they leave you wanting next Saturday night. Hurry up and get here to watch what's next. AEW is like that. I agree, Raymond. The old school stuff, I love the Rhodes, Flair, the Anderson Brothers, the Briscoes. Pretty much, there were a lot of good promos cut back then that made you want to see what was going to happen next. Mm-hmm. They wanted you to come back. They wanted you to be there. And their promos helped promote that. So I 100% agree with you, Raymond, on that. Mr. G, me and Ant are brothers. Did you know that? You look alike, Ivan. You look alike. Like Arnie quotes. Yes, Grant. Yes, definitely. Did you hear Velveteen Dream is backstage at NXT because they have nothing for him? I'm not shocked by it. There's a lot of wrestlers that they have nothing for. Did you hear Shane has caught his breath from that promo? Maven drinking beer? Nope, just cherry lemonade.
It's not cherry lemonade, it's raspberry lemonade.
Raspberry lemonade, my bad. If the stories are too complicated, how do they expect to get people understanding what is happening? Come back next week, Duncan, and you'll find out. That's the idea. They're trying to get you to come back so to find out what's happening.
Yeah.
To understand the story.
Yeah.
And so, which is why, and that's why people that complain about WWE, that's why a lot of times I talk about WWE and I'm down on WWE because I just feel that they don't tell a story. It's like they and it changes from week to week. They may start to tell a story and then they go, well, that wasn't good. Let's change it. And then you're like,
what? Yeah, sometimes it's
just finish the story out some way, somehow, and then move on. And I don't feel that WWE does that. AEW, you know, they had the non-explosion explosion, and they ended up tying that into the storyline, which was great. I felt it was great. I wouldn't be surprised if someone went up to the vending machine and go like, ooh, free stuff. Yes, that's what you should be doing. All the Arnie quotes on the other side. 18 in chat, but 11 likes. I'm showing 17 right now. 17. So we're doing good.
So, after this, we have the Young Bucks promo.
How much do you know about Perry Saturn? He's an awesome but a scary guy. He's bald. He's really not that big. For a wrestler, he's not like a big guy.
We have the Young Bucks doing a promo. Don Callis ends up coming by to talk to the Bucks. Tries to, guilt them into, feeling bad for not saving him last week. And Matt Jackson doesn't take the bait. He ends up, getting, slapped. Matt Jackson, gets slapped by Don Callis or something like that. And that's sort of where we're left with that.
Yes. Again, I thought this was a good promo. I think it was good what they were doing.
I think so, too. I think so, too.
Excellent way to do it.
We then got a freaking phenomenal match. I really enjoyed this. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. My gravies. Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid are phenomenal. The stuff that they do...
DTA Podcast, how you doing?
...is insane. I was sitting there throughout the entire match and I was like, oh, that didn't look good. Oh. Whoa. In a that didn't look good type of way. It's like, whoa, they totally bent themselves in half and ow, that looked like that hurt. That's what I mean by that. So they always do crazy stuff that makes me go, ah! But it's cool.
Well, there was one part, and I don't know which one it was. They've got the film, the camera is on the ring. Mm-hmm. And you see one of them just come flying across, out of nowhere.
Yeah, Ray Phoenix totally, ran across the ropes.
Yeah,
and kicked Kenny Omega in the face. There was a spot where Laredo Kid did a suicide dive to the outside, totally nearly, biffed it. Nearly, landed on his head, but saved it. It was whoa, dude. Whoa.
Well, I was like, where did he come from? Because, he wasn't in the screen, and then all of a sudden he's there.
It's insane, man. But I thought this was a really well done match. The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega won. I pretty much expected that. Laredo Kid took the pin. After Moxley came out and had the Young Bucks with him, they chased off Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. So, next week, we are getting John Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Should be another killer 6-man tag match.
Again, but look at what they're doing. They're building this up without having them fight each other.
Which I think is cool.
They came out, they ran, they built it up without having them fight each other. Mm-hmm. And so it just makes the storylines more interesting, makes you want to come back to watch next week to see what's going to happen. I have a feeling Moxley's getting killed. Just saying. Because I have a feeling the Young Bucks are turning.
I thought they were going to turn tonight, honestly. I really thought that was going to happen. I thought they were going to walk out with Moxley. I thought they were going to chase off Kenny Omega, and then I thought the Young Bucks were going to super kick Moxley in the head.
Yeah, I think that
I thought that's what was happening.
I don't
want to see that happen because, quite honestly, I don't want to see the Young Bucks paired up with Kenny and the Good Brothers at this point. Just because I want to see the Young Bucks continue on just by themselves and be the good guys, But that's probably the way we're going with it.
I have a feeling that's where we're going. Subscribe to Mrs. Gleen's face for Mrs. Gleen's face reveal. Yes, once we hit 500 subscribers, we will do a face reveal of Mrs. Gleen. James, thanks for sharing the show. We appreciate that. I always thought Perry Saturn and Rick Steiner back then looked alike. I could see that. I think Perry Saturn's a little bit smaller than him. I like the AEW cliffhanger, says DTA Podcast. Perry Saturn looks like my cat Dave. Is that his Well, he got cut pretty good.
Yeah, he did. He was actually bleeding. I thought it was like.
Yeah.
Dax?
If you have Twitter, go check out Dax from FTR. He's put out a. He put out
like
on,
he would like legit like.
Yeah, he's got a nice little gash on his head.
Cut open and he needed stitches.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Perry Saturn, he's nothing but a choir boy compared to me, says Grant. When is Matt? Is Nick that's gonna get surgery? I can't remember which one. You notice the limp is getting worse on TV, but he could be playing it up. I think it's Matt, and I think he legitimately needs to have surgery. From everything I've seen, he needs to have surgery. And it's been posted on, like, I think it's been on Being the Elite. They've posted out on Twitter. I think he needs to be, like, I think he legitimately needs to have surgery to get his knee back in place. Because they said he did it, like, several years ago.
Yeah.
And I just think it's now starting to bother him a little more. Killed dead? Yes, killed dead. I thought, because there's no other way to be killed. Unless you're a zombie. And we don't want that. I thought it was Kid, not Phoenix, walking out of nowhere, a rope. Awesome.
No, I think it was.
I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
I'm pretty sure it was Phoenix.
Because whoever it was, they came out of nowhere.
Laredo Kid was in the ring with Kenny. And I'm pretty sure it was Phoenix who, like, walked across the rope and kicked Kenny Omega in the face.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was Phoenix.
I thought the Young Bucks were going to turn on Moxley tonight as well. Yeah, me too, Johnny. I thought that tonight was going to be the night. I have a feeling it could be next week, though. I have not watched all of Dynamite yet. Found out partway through how to watch it. Duncan, go watch it. The whole show was good. Outstanding show. You all won't believe who met in Orlando. Colby and Rebecca, a.k.a. Seth and Becky. This is before I got sick. I almost puked. Well, James, maybe that's why you puked. Just saying.
Man.
After she gave birth? Well, I hope so.
So that blood wasn't a cut. No, it was a cut.
It was a
cut.
He's got a nice gash on his head.
He's got a nice, like,
it's like a V-shaped cut on the top of his head.
It's, and he had, I think there were like 5
And it's
stitches.
pretty wide. It's like not just a small, like, gash. It's like...
it was open pretty...
You look at the pictures, it's a good
if you
half
looked
inch
at, if you looked at,
to an inch.
Santana, I think it was Santana. His shirt was like...
Yeah.
Like, bloody, dude. It was messed up.
Yes. Night of the Living Dead is humanity's finest achievement. Hey, we watched that, you know, as a watch-along.
Sucked.
And Maven hated it.
It was terrible.
She hated it.
That movie was so bad. That movie was so bad.
Yeah. Damn, that's cool, James. I've never met Seth, but have met Becky twice. Even got her signature on her bobblehead doll from Toys R Us before they closed. Cool. That is cool. In Bostonian, he was a wicked cut. Yes, wicked cut. Definitely cut. It's a nice gash.
So,
James, we're getting to the point where we're going to talk about women's wrestling. Pay attention, because the women, I have a feeling, are going to start to be focused even more.
Britt Baker and Reba, they did a promo. Baker said, you know, I saw Thunder Rosa on Elevation. She's got to go over there to get some wins because, well, the match that we had was unsanctioned, so it didn't count towards her total for getting a shot at the belt. So, boo-hoo, you're going to have to go and fight some more while I stay here on Dynamite and reign supreme. We then get Nyla Rose and Allie versus Hikaru Shida and Ty Conti. Decent match. I thought it was good.
Yeah, again,
I really like Ty Conti. Like, she has star written all over her.
Yeah.
And I like her being paired with the Dark Order. And I think that she could be a huge deal. They need to continue pushing her.
I agree. I think that, well, again, I don't know that it's pushing, because I think that, again, as I've said before, AEW does a good job with all their stars. Mm-hmm. So it's not just about pushing her. It's about, like, all their stars are being used, and it's good what they're doing with those. Mm-hmm. Night of the Living Dead is humanity's finest achievement. Damn, that was cool, James. I've never... Okay, beyond that. Is Anthony Ogogo Olympic bronze medalist main ring competitor or early stages? He's in his early stages, Duncan, but I have a feeling they're going to use him a little more as we go along here. Mm-hmm. And with the way AEW does stuff, he may be on Dark several times. He may be on Elevation several times.
But I think he's going to be out there.
But I think you will see him...
He's going to be out there with QT Marshall.
Well, I think you'll see him out there. I don't know how much in-ring stuff he's going to do as far as wrestling on Dynamite, but he will be out there, I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
I thought Night of the Living Dead was interesting. Actually, Mr. G, that emoji means almost passed.
Out. Almost passed out.
That's not good, James. Don't pass out, man. That'd be bad.
A lot of women's wrestlers are outworking the men, but that's just my opinion.
I could, I think...
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I think there are several that are doing really great things at this point in time.
But I think that in some ways they're putting them out there in a situation where they can't. And the fact that there are fewer women's matches for the most part. So you see the women, when they are put out there, their matches are like better simply because they're expecting that match to be good anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I
think. Mm-hmm. So I think that helps too.
So Nyla Rose and Allie won. This is cool. I personally think that Shida and Conti should have won, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Good segment. Good. I like what they did here.
Speaking of women outworking the men, when are we getting Evolution 2? Never. Like, seriously, never.
Cody, you just, keep your fingers crossed. You might see it.
I don't know how recent this was, but I saw the other day, Maria did an interview with somebody and got asked about Evolution 2, and she said she was told that they're never doing it again.
So, in other words...
it's not happening.
In other words, Cody, don't hold your breath, because you're going to pass out.
So...
Yeah. If they do a women's tag belt, I can see Anna Jay and Conti as team, but timing has to be right. Taya could turn heel and Anna doesn't come back in time. I think once they start to get their women back, I think there's a possibility you could see a women's tag belt. I think we're headed for a 6-man
tag belt. I think that'll be the next title to be brought in.
The thing I like about what they're doing is they're slowly building this up and not just saying, okay, we have this belt and this belt and this belt and this belt, and they're all going to be on the line. It's a slow build up to all of this.
Yeah, I like that they don't have 25 belts.
Well, I think...
they have 4 belts right now, and I think that's plenty.
Well, I agree, but I think if they had a 6-man belt...
I think a 6-man
tag
belt
that,
would
just
be cool
because they do a lot of 6-man matches, and they have enough talent there to do something like that.
I think so, too, and I'd be fine with them doing it, but I like the format of not having too many belts. They have the AEW World Championship, they have the TNT title, the women's title, and the tag team titles, and then if you throw a 6-man tag belt in there, I'd be cool with that, and I think that's all we need. I don't really think we need much more than that. Because then I feel like we start to get into WWE territory where we have way too many titles that would mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And not be used on a regular basis.
Yeah, I agree.
I like what we do.
I'm glad that Nyla won. Yeah, I mean, it ties into the whole storyline of everything that's going on, so I think that helps out. Having her win, having that whole thing, and so I think that's kind of where we're headed with that. It's just the story. The stories that are going to start to come out for the women are going to be interesting. Where they're going to go, how things are going to turn out. I believe, and someone was talking about Thunder Rosa's interview earlier this week, last week, today, something. Mm-hmm. And I think she mentioned something about Serena D, but I'm not sure. In a cage match. So I think there was something along. I'll have to go back and see if I can find the information. But I'm pretty sure that they were talking about that. Women's wrestling has far many years had a stigma. Thankfully, that attitude has changed, or at least is starting to. I don't have any, the women's wrestling, I don't have any, I don't understand why either.
It's because of women.
I think it, like, to be honest, like, up until probably the last 20 to 25 years, I don't know that there were a lot of women wrestlers that I would sit there and say, I don't want to say athletic enough to be in the ring, because I don't know if that really makes sense. Or more along the lines that a lot of the women just didn't.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's almost been like I wouldn't even say in the last like 20 years.
It might even be like 30 years.
Like,
because when I was a kid watching wrestling, there were not a lot of women that were even out there, even being pushed or anything like that. But there weren't a lot of women that were being. There was really not a lot being done with them.
I think there were some good, like somebody said, a Lunder Blaze. I think there were some good women.
You had a handful, but for the most part,
but there weren't a ton, which is what I get what you're saying. And the Divas division, Diva Wrestling in WWE held back the true talents in women's wrestling. I agree. And so I think that, like, up until the last maybe 10 or so years, we've gotten some more, like, legitimate women's, like, I feel like people have begun to take it more seriously.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some of the best matches I've seen have been women's matches. Duncan, I think in the last year, I think the two best matches have been women's matches. I think that
Sasha and
Bailey's match
at Hell in a Cell, and
at the time I said that was like match of the year, like not even close. I think that would probably have been match of the year.
And then Baker
and then we had Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, and I was like, well, Bailey and Sasha now have a challenger for match of the year because this match was as good as that one. Mm-hmm. Rosa wants a Dream Cage match with Serena Deeb. It was on AEW Unrestricted podcast. I knew it was something like that, Raymond. I knew I'd seen somewhere about it. I hadn't heard the Unrestricted podcast, but I'd seen somewhere where she had talked about that.
I hate what they're doing to Charlotte. I feel like Charlotte right now is kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I think that I don't know. It just seems like things are kind of tough for her at the moment. In deciding, like everything with WWE based upon what was said in that Andrade interview the other day. It just seems like kind of weird, and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not cool what WWE's doing.
I mean, live matches on the independent scene. Yeah, Duncan. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I would agree with you as far as the independent scene and things like that. I think that's probably, but I think that a lot of those independent wrestlers are now starting to get recognized, especially in AEW. Mm-hmm. I said I think you would see a push for the women. A lot of people complain about them not putting the women out there for a long time, and I was one that was saying they've had a lot of injuries. Mm-hmm. It seems like anytime they go to push somebody, they would get injured.
Yeah.
And so it kind of killed everything they were doing with them. And then we had the pandemic hit, which didn't help out. So I think all of that kind of tied into the women's division in AEW not being pushed. Mm-hmm. And so now I feel that we're kind of starting to see some women being pushed. More women are being put out there. You're starting to see a few more matches, a few more promos from the women. So I think as long as they start to get healthy and we start to see some of that happening, I think you're going to see more women's matches on Dynamite. And then depending on what they're going to do with this extra hour that they're going to get, whether it's another show or another hour of Dynamite, whatever they're going to do, you may see more women's matches on there.
Even in 2011, I remember Divas matches being the break for the toilet. Yeah. Tragic for wrestlers like AJ Lee retired just before an era where she'd flourished. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think for some of them, I think it's such a crappy thing because I think AJ Lee would have been such a big deal when they started doing all of this stuff with the Bellas, and they brought Charlotte, and you had Paige, and you had all this stuff, which like sort of began the whole women's revolution thing.
Duncan, where are you from? I'm just
so
curious.
I think that, I think that AJ Lee would have been a big deal had she stuck around for sort of the women's revolution thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if again, I think there's some wrestlers that they were just at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Some women's wrestlers that were just at the wrong time, and it's just if they'd been around now, they would have had pushes like no other,
mm-hmm.
or at least being out there and seeing a lot more than what they were, and it would have meant something more. Like Lunder Blaze would have been more for her
mm-hmm.
now
mm-hmm.
because of everybody, all the women that are being pushed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It would have just meant more for her, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, from the UK, cool. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm spelling wrong, Jack. I read wrong all the time. So what are you talking about?
That's all good.
And I'm not even tired.
So next week we're getting Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. We're getting the Bunny versus Ty Conti. We're getting Darby Allin versus JD Drake in a TNT Championship match. The Inner Circle is returning, and we are getting Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. The Jurassic Express cut a promo, and they are talking about this matchup they have next week being like Godzilla versus Kong or whatever.
Yes.
And Marco Stunt has this like King Kong tattoo on his arm or something. And so they're like hyping up this match, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be like Godzilla, and we're gonna, and then they all look at Marco, and Marco has this like tattoo of King Kong on his arm, and he's like,
this was funny.
what?
I thought it was funny.
It was hilarious. I love the three of them. I think they would be a phenomenal team to win the 6-man tag titles.
Yeah.
When they bring them in.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'd be good.
They need to win them. Because they're just so funny. I love the three of them. I think giving Jurassic Express the tag titles would be good enough. But I think including Marco Stunt would be just
interesting.
Next level.
Yeah. Mr. G, what's your opinion on the name for the stable with Trent Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Chris Statlander? Arcade Anarchy. That'd be an interesting one. That'd be an interesting name.
So we then get the main event. Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy versus Miro and Kip in the Arcade Anarchy match. I liked the layout of this.
Thanks for stopping by, Duncan. We'd love to have you come back again. Go get some sleep, man.
I really liked the format of this. I liked the way they did this. I liked how they set it up. I liked the match itself. I've not been a huge fan of this feud whatsoever. Like, at all. But I really like this. We got a Chris Statlander return. She was sitting in, like, the claw machine. She popped up, beat up Penelope Ford. So I'm assuming we're going to get a match between the two of them. Trent also returned, and so did Trent's mom, Sue. She drove in the minivan, had, Trent in the back, and so they're both back.
Good night, Duncan.
I think it's fabulous. Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor won the match. I enjoyed it. I really like the idea of Chris Statlander now working with Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. I think she fits in really well, and if you've seen the stuff that they've done on Being the Elite, or the stuff that she's done with Orange Cassidy on Being the Elite, I've really enjoyed that, and I like the way they work together, and I think that it's cool. And I'm excited to have them sort of be a team.
Yeah. This whole thing was good. I liked what they were doing with this. The fact that Chris Statlander came back and came up through the
claw machine?
Yeah, the claw machine.
Yeah, I think it was funny.
I thought that was funny. The when Miro was going out to, and then you have Trent show up with his mom's van.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miro goes out to the van and is like gonna like tear it up or destroy it or something, and that was good. Everything was good on this match. I thought everything they did. Miro is another one. Everybody was like, "Oh, I hate this stupid Miro. This is dumb. I hate this act. I don't like this act. This is dumb." And I said, watch where they go with this. Give it time to build. Don't let what's happening now make your opinion, be negative. Because AEW builds storylines. Mm-hmm. And they build things up. And I had said they're having this Miro that was going to be this happy-go-lucky guy, and he loves video games, and he loves to play video games, and he wanted to be part of, a video game group, and he was all happy about it, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, watch, he's going to turn, and I think eventually he's going to kill Sabian.
Oh, I think that's coming, for sure, yeah. Absolutely.
But I think that it's the build that's part of the process. And I like what they've done with it so far.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't liked what they've done, like you said. I haven't liked what they've done with Miro, and Kip, and this entire feud. For if I'm being completely honest, but I really, really enjoyed this match. I liked bringing Statlander back. I liked bringing Trent back. I'm glad to see both of them back. I'm glad that they're both healthy now. And I think best friends, Orange Cassidy and Statlander, are going to be
I think they're going to be kind of
a cool force in AEW.
Well, and now that Chris Statlander's back,
some fun stuff.
Well, Chris Statlander being back, I think it's going to be cool. I think that's interesting that she is back and is now ready to be back in business and back wrestling again, which I think is going to help out the women's division. Again, I think that all these women are starting to come back, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Story
of AEW plans for the future. WWE doesn't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, Grant. They have no clue.
That's legit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube to this channel. Thank you, Duncan. We appreciate that. Go tell all your friends about it. We appreciate having more people come check us out. We like chatting with you guys.
Absolutely.
Guys, I'm on a WWE hole getting ready to order Becky's GOAT replica jacket, Becky's Game Time watch, and the man,
cool.
James.
Cool. I love the Arcade Anarchy match. So good. Powerbomb off top onto Legos. Ow. Great stuff. Nice to see Chris Statlander. She's good.
Yeah,
dude. The powerbomb onto the Legos.
Will Raleigh Sport.
Jim Cornette is going to have a freaking field day with that, and I can't wait.
Well, I would rather have thumbtacks stuck in my back than be landing on Legos.
I cannot wait to hear Jim Cornette's response to this match.
He's
gonna rip it to shreds.
Well, he is, but who cares? Because I've seen some of the stuff he does. So, Marco. So Cody says Marco should do a gimmick matches against females as small as he is, like Andy Kaufman used to do. So let me ask you, Cody, do you think it would work now?
As small as Marco is, I like how they use it as a gimmick.
Wait just a second. So does anybody think that that Marco Stunt could do an Andy Kaufman type thing, or anybody do like an Andy Kaufman type thing in today's? Because Andy Kaufman not only carried it out in the ring, for the wrestling, he carried it out like on talk shows. He carried it, everything he did. He carried it out everywhere. So could you do both? I mean, like with today's world and social media and stuff, I think it'd be hard to do that type of gimmick and stuff, and make it carry out, and people go, yeah, this is like believable. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's, if that makes sense. AEW has 2 thumbs up tonight. Definitely. Dan,
I thought it was a phenomenal show. I thought it was
great
one of their better shows that they've had in
and
a while.
I thought
it was really good top to bottom.
So let me ask you this, Dan. Were you for tonight, when you looked at the card and knew what was happening, did you expect what we got tonight? Did you expect anything that happened tonight with just the whole show? When you looked at the card going into tonight, did you expect the show that we got tonight? Because when I looked at it, I was like, okay, I'm curious to see this, but I'm not like, amped and pumped to see it. It's not like I'm like on the edge of my seat going, wow, I think this could be really good. Mm-hmm. And after I watched this whole show, I was like, man, this is like awesome. We've done Lego and thumbtacks, and we spoke about with the talent, and there are some talent who prefer taking tacks and some talent who prefer taking Legos. those Legos, man, I've stepped on them.
It hurts.
And I've had things like stuck in like.
Now, granted, I've never like stepped on a thumbtack, but Legos hurt. Like that hurts, man.
Like I don't want to step on a Lego. I've had stuff like stabbed into my foot, you know, but Legos are like a whole new like story. So having, I mean, me personally, thumbtacks, probably would rather have those than, you know, Legos. Two gorilla thumbs up. Yes, definitely. Maven, don't drink. I don't drink much. Maven doesn't drink. She can't drink.
No, I can't drink.
Because of her Crohn's.
Yeah, I can't.
Nobody can do Andy Kaufman character in 2021. Wrestling's gone too far. I would agree with that. That's why I asked is do you think that you could, do you think that they could like do it, pull it off somehow, some way? I just don't think they could. To be honest, I don't think people should try to pretend wrestling is real outside of show start and show finish time. It shouldn't be treated any differently to a TV show or movie. I've said the same thing. Too many people try and put too much into, you know, the wrestling stuff. And I'm all for, you know, I love the storylines. I love the stuff the promos they cut. I love all of it. And I can separate the show that they put on from the things that they do at their, you know, going home and stuff. And too many people try to make it like a big deal about, well, they're not carrying it out when they leave the show. Okay, so what? Big deal. You shouldn't have to, especially in today's like day. You know, like people know what's happening and stuff.
Yeah.
Did I expect what we got tonight? Yeah, pretty much. Only match that over-delivered for me was Taya and Sheeta versus Nyla and Bunny. I wasn't sure what level that was going to be, but it ended up super fun. So, see, I didn't expect that. I didn't, like, tonight, I didn't expect, like, any, like, over-the-top stuff. Like, and I don't know if I want to say over-the-top. Because I want to say...
I just thought it was a really good show. I feel like, not that the last couple weeks of shows haven't been, like, good and stuff, but, I thought that it was a really good show from top to bottom, and sometimes there's like a segment or two or three in between that you're sort of like, don't know how I feel about that. But I rather enjoyed everything on the show.
Hey there, Eric. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, whoa, what? Hey, Gleen, what am I hearing? Roman is going to be the leader of a Retribution on SmackDown.
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's happening. Don't think so. Maybe do you think Young Bucks are just playing the good guys right now, and down the road they're going to turn on Moxley and join Kenny? I think next week we could see it.
I think so. I really thought they were going to do it tonight.
Yeah. I think next week could be where we get that. The thing about the tacks is you get loads of them, and you get the pins in like the elbow and in between your fingers, etc., which isn't nice. Yeah, I could say that, but just like landing on Legos, like, ow. I mean, I step on one and I'm like a baby.
I mean, like, but the thing is, though, it's like landing on Legos, like, it would hurt for like a second, though. Like, and it's it hurts for a second, but then it like shoots like stabbing pain wherever it like, you know, you stepped on it or whatever. And I feel like a tack. I feel like if you like when you have tacks, like,
but think about that.
Like
if you get it,
in your back, they're like stuck there, and they're not really moving around. So like it's just like stuck there. So would you feel it or would you not? Well, if it's like stuck in your back.
The thing is, I feel that with a tack you could remove it, and yeah, there might be like a little pain there. But like if you land on a Lego and like bruise a muscle or something, or like, you know, do something where like your shoulder land on your muscle onto it, and then you have to, the next 2 weeks you're going, oh man, like, I did. Oh yeah, I landed on a Lego.
I love that we're debating which would be better to take, landing on a Lego or landing on some tack.
Well, I personally would not like any of them.
Ah, man.
I had staples in my thumb when I was a kid. That hurt. Yeah, I mean, see, it's just, I don't know. Do you like the team of Sky and Ethan Page?
I do. I think it's kind of fun. I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah. Before Mr. G forgets, what both of you guys' favorite WrestleMania is? For me, mine was WrestleMania 38 when Daniel Bryan won the championship.
Ooh, yeah, 2 favorite WrestleManias. We gotta tell him that. I would say... Shoot.
How you doing, Jeff?
That's tough.
Lego my egg, Ethan. Now, this isn't probably a popular opinion.
Okay.
My favorite WrestleMania.
Let me guess. WrestleMania 3.
I have 2.
Well, that was kind of it's two WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, as far as like we're just talking matches, right?
Well, I suppose, but just 2 WrestleMania.
Because the Mr. T and Piper match, I loved. And then, of course, Hogan slamming Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that'd be 1 and 3.
Yeah.
My favorite WrestleMania. Shoot, that's tough.
She's got to think now. Great. Good job. Jonelle, you did it. Now she's going to be thinking for the next 35 minutes.
There's decent ones, though. But I feel like if I'm... I'd say my favorite WrestleMania... I really like the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels...
It's WrestleMania 4, right, Gleen? No disrespect.
The Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels 60-minute Iron Man match. That was like WrestleMania 12. And I really like WrestleMania 31. I thought WrestleMania 31, like top to bottom, I thought it was a really decent card. And like I watched that WrestleMania so many times, it's not even funny. Like after that Mania happened, I kid you not, for like the next like month straight, like when I would put TV on before I went to bed, it was like that WrestleMania, and I would just watch it over and over and over again. But yeah, like I really enjoyed that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, okay.
So 12 and 31?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I think the worst weapon I've ever seen used in pro wrestling was barbed wire, baseball bats, steel chairs, and tables. It looks brutal. How long do you think those scars take to heal? Well, let's ask Dan if Dan's still around. How long do those scars take to heal? Because Dan has probably seen all of it, and he could probably tell you what takes the longest to heal and how much pain people are in, and he could probably tell you all about that. I watched. I was watching his show the other day when they had, and Dan could help me out. But they had which one was it? They had a cage match that I was watching on his show, on their channel. By the way, if you haven't checked out Eve Wright Girls of Wrestling, go check them out. They're awesome. Glad to hear you agree, Mr. G. I can't stand the whole "it needs to be real" brigade. If someone needs wrestling to be real, then they must be pretty insecure as a wrestling fan. I've always looked at it as, like you said, a TV show. Well, it's something that it's something there to entertain you.
Well, that's the thing, like,
and it's live.
Specifically for me, recently, now this is sort of on another level of things not being real, but the whole Fiend thing, everybody's been like, oh, this is totally not real, and I can't buy into this, which I get, but also, I always bring up the point of, like, it's a television show.
Yeah.
It's a television show. They're supposed to be entertaining us. And, like, I get it. That's not everybody's cup of tea. But, like, they're out there trying to, like, entertain.
Well, that's just it. It's all about the entertainment aspect of things. And the fact that too many people try to look at it and go, well, this isn't real. I don't like that. That's just, like, bad and just stupid. And why are they hugging each other when they leave the arena? Dude, like, it's like, if you watch a TV show, they're not out, like, Superman didn't go fight Batman after Superman versus Batman, it's a movie or a TV show. Like, get to reality, dude. Is Jungle Express Bear Country match next week going to be sponsored by Godzilla vs. King Kong?
I have no idea.
Well, they did talk about Godzilla vs. King Kong since it came out today. On when they talked about, when he showed him the tattoo and stuff, it kind of did that. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that on Twitch. I had staples in my head when my old housemate cracked my forehead open when we fought. He was being a bum to everyone in the house weeks, but I'm so manly that they never hurt. They really did. My favorite matches are the ones that make you question, was that a shoot? Yeah, Grant, sometimes that happens. I think the worst weapons because the scars look very brutal and will take long to heal are the barbed wire steel cage matches and death matches. Yeah, I can see that. Becky might be back a lot sooner than we think. I can't wait to begin here in Tampa. Won't be a waste. She might, James. She might. How you feel about Bear Country? Kind of old school tag team, Gleen. I think they're good. I like them. I mean, I think I need to see more out of them to really be able to say what I think about them.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I think that they. Again, I need to see more out of them to really have a true opinion of them.
Yeah.
Wrestling was in the UK news here today as a wrestler was sentenced to 21 months for shoot kicking the person he was working with and causing life-changing injuries to him. He said he did it because the guy wasn't selling enough for him. Healing is different per person. The older you are, the longer you take to heal. Yeah, it's kind of like real life. You just takes longer to heal as you get older.
It's kind of like real life.
Not that wrestling isn't real life. Bumps and bruises and stuff you get from barbed wire. From things aren't real life.
It's kind of like real life.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was just the way you phrased it that was really funny.
The older you get, it's going to be, you're going to have to, heal longer. That's kind of sad that guy kicked somebody just because they weren't selling. That's just stupid. Work with them and make them better. My favorite Mania is 36, Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte. Yeah, I forgot the shoehorn part. I'm just saying Charlotte. Owen vs. Britt at 10 was great. Yeah, we've done barbed wire and death matches and all sorts. Dan, what have the girls you've worked with, and obviously you've worked in other organizations with men, but what have they what has the talent said is the worst match that they have? Is there one specific one that they go, man, I'll do it, but this is really gonna suck and I'm gonna hate it. Is Becky's show up for Mania Maven going to scream? Gleen gonna say, calm down,
because
Maven.
Quite honestly, I'm not expecting her to show up whatsoever, and anybody who is, I feel like, I don't know, not that you shouldn't expect her to show up, but I just feel like it's a really high expectation to think that she's gonna show up at WrestleMania, and I really don't think it's happening. So if it does, yeah, I'll probably flip out.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe, I don't know. We're doing a watch along, so I guess you'll see.
Yeah. That exposing was real to me. You almost hurt Moxley. 36 was in a performance center. I want wrestling to look real, but not be UFC or MMA brutality. The thing is I think if you get the right people and you train the people the right way, that you will see it will seem real. Apparently, we had someone trying to break in.
Okay then.
Superman did fight Batman. Spoilers.
Jack, no.
Jack,
what?
They did fight.
Superman didn't fight Batman?
Yes, they did fight. Superman versus Batman, they were fighting. I saw it. Superman was flying around. You guys are absolutely right about the status of wrestling today with fans who doesn't get the entertainment value behind the WWE specifically. That's just it. I think the entertainment value is what makes it interesting. Just followed on Twitch. I'm going now, promise. Good night, all. Thanks for stopping by, Duncan. We appreciate it. Thanks for following on Twitch. We appreciate that too. I'll never forget the wrestling I did at 13 to 18. We did crazy-ish stupid stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of people that did crazy stupid stuff. I had some friends that did crazy stupid stuff. I was like, no, that's not for me because I'm not going to get killed.
Nah, instead you ran into
I did other stupid stuff.
You ran into a baseball hoop thing, whatever that's called.
Yeah. It's cool. WrestleManias are harder to track now. It has no number. Mr. G, in your honest opinion, out of these four wrestlers, who do you think would win a shoot fight? Brock, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Steve Blackman, or Harley Race? Well, definitely not Harley Race, because he's going to have to come from the grave to pull that off. Probably not Dr. Death either. Probably Lesnar, but Blackman might give him a go. Ask Foley if the barbed wire burns. Something I talk about a lot on my podcast, especially with this ongoing brand war.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, guys, no, not next week, the week after, NXT is officially moving to Tuesdays. So we will be here on Tuesdays for NXT.
Yes.
So.
We'll be here Tuesdays for NXT, starting in a couple weeks.
Yep.
How do you feel about WrestleMania going back to one night? Make sure, personally, I like the 2 nights just because as long as they don't have 35 matches in one night, I'd be cool with one night. If they're going to try making 35 matches in one night and have an 8-hour WrestleMania, that's going to suck.
Not cool.
Yeah.
I like the two night format.
Yes. The shoot kick incident here was bad and proof of the problem in people needing to think it's real. This guy had that mentality and thought he could get away with it, but thankfully didn't. Yeah, I don't understand that. Why? Like, wrestling is a show, and you need to. Yes, they have to sell, like, to make people want to watch it. But a bad actor in a TV show is going to make people not want to watch the TV show. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand, the disconnect of, okay, this is wrestling, it's a show. They're putting on a show. They're not really killing each other, because if they were really killing each other, there'd be lots of dead people. And so the whole separation there is just I don't get. My favorite Mania is 6, 27, 30, and 35. Oh, and Mania 19 and 13. DCA podcast just liked them all. It wasn't just 1 or 2. It was like all of them. A dugout baseball hoop. Yeah, Jack, I have stories. I have scars.
Yeah, you ran into a garage door, didn't you?
I ran into the bricks that were separating a garage, like a two-car garage. I ran into the bricks that were separating that.
That's awesome.
Cut my knee open to the bone.
That's awesome.
That was cool. Mr. Giannis Pin, who would win a shoot? Oh, I already read that.
You already read that.
My boss just made me part owner, open store, cock-a-doodle-doo. I made a 10, 2-star, not 19. Ken Shamrock will hurt Brock. I don't know. I mean, we've had some real horrible stunts, like stapling a dollar bill to the tongue. We've done fire, light tubes. There's so many stunts that suck to take, but there's no consistency among people. So in other words, what Dan is saying is he's had some crazy people that just, depending on what they want to do, is what they want to take.
Light tubes would suck. Like, that'd probably not be cool.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that.
Fire would probably suck. Stapling a dollar bill to your tongue, yeah, that would also
No,
suck.
that would be one that I would say, not happening.
I would be more willing to do something with light tubes than I would of the other two. Because, you get hit with a light tube in the back. I'm sure it hurts. Like, for a second. It probably, it's like, ow.
Well, as long as, I don't lose my shoes and I have to walk on the light tubes, I'd probably be good.
I mean, like I said, it'd probably just sting. You get hit in the back and it's like, ow.
But the staple
in
to the
tongue,
tongue?
that's, no. And also,
I bite my tongue. And I don't bite it all the way through.
That hurts.
And I'm like,
ow.
I'm like a baby.
That hurts. Yeah, I would say light tubes. I light tube to the back.
I would take that before taking
the other two.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Miniam, I'll book you in a match with Raquel Gonzalez. Good luck, she scares me. Good luck, she scares me. Dangerous stunts that don't fit the fight. Yeah. I hear from Mania the kickoff is getting canceled and they doing nothing big for a return or entrances. Never mind, it's Hogan's music. Yes, Randy, they are I have no clue what they're doing for sure.
I've heard that, yeah, they're not doing the kickoff, but they are going to have some big entrance. If it's anybody, I think it's Drew. I think Drew's going to get his old theme song back. I think they're going to do some big, opening thing. I would say Drew or Hogan, one of the two. I hope it's Drew, though, for my sanity. I hope it's Drew.
Yeah. Although I think it's stupid, the whole thing. So Lewis comes in with light tubes don't hurt at all. And right before he said, I've done it, I was going to say, he probably knows. He's done it many times. It's like he goes home at night. Yeah, give me the light tube.
But yeah, I feel like that one would hurt less than the other two.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. There was a vignette tonight on NXT before they go to commercial where a dog was walking into the PC and they said they're debuting on the debut episode on...
It's
what?
Taya. It's Taya.
Oh.
That's who it is. It's her dog. It's Taya. I'm almost positive it's Taya.
My bad, guys. There's too many manias to put on a list. DTA podcast, just put them all on there. Well, that's okay, because we've had a couple people that have been to WrestleMania 2000. So, you know. It's unfortunate WrestleMania 19, Angle went into the show with an injured neck, then Lesnar injured his neck at the show. Yes, it is. After that match, both guys had injured necks. Yes. And then again, it's just a matter of how bad they are. Oh my God, don't hurt him. Excalibur is AEW Junior now. Yep. Charlotte was shoehorned into Ronda's and Becky's match. Hopefully, we will finally get Becky versus Ronda one day. If Ronda comes back, maybe not.
Dude, they've got a video of Dax getting his head stitched up.
That's a nasty gash.
That is wicked, bro.
I broke one toe in 3 by punting a wall. Broke 2 others. Well, Jack, you know, when you say you broke your toe, and then you tell me that you, like, punted a wall, do you understand that walls, like, aren't too forgiving? They're kind of there and stuck there. They're not going to go flying like a ball. Did someone explain that to you? Because if not, I'm explaining it to you right now. Don't kick a wall because it's not going to fly like a ball.
No.
Okay? It's stuck there.
No.
It's stuck there. Broke 2 ribs late last year being blown into a lamppost. Rolled my ankle walking up stairs.
Hey, that's wicked.
Jack, was the wind blowing that hard? The powder makes you choke, though. Well, I could see that. You probably don't want to inhale that stuff because that's probably not, like, healthy for you.
It's probably toxic.
Huh?
I said it's probably toxic.
Yeah, probably.
That's.
I hate watching Mania this year. LOL. Yeah, it's just the build has them in there. The thing about cuts is they hurt and sting, and yeah, it can bleed, but bad. But they heal. Tearing muscles, on the other hand, that's why I think, you know, getting poked by like a thumbtack would be a lot better than like landing on Legos, just because of the muscles that are involved and having to, like, deal with the muscle aches.
Yeah, tearing muscles not fun. I've done that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that that'd be good.
Tearing muscles is not fun.
What's Taya name for NXT Maven?
I don't know. I think it's still the same name she had before.
I have no idea.
Could be
Gonna be a while if so. James Ronda is training for UFC return. Taya, the Pretty Morrison.
NXT looks interesting. I may tune in next week.
That's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna next week. I think we're doing. We still haven't finalized the schedule. We'll talk about it on Friday, but we are we're gonna do the takeovers next week, I think, and then we'll be doing NXT from here on out on Tuesdays. So stay tuned for that.
Yes, broke as in broke. I was mad at someone at the time. Like, was it gonna hurt him if you kicked the wall? Just wondering, Jack. When Lesnar botched his shooting star press, what did you think after it happened?
I
think it's one of those things. Sometimes
I
the thing is, and Dan could probably answer
truthfully.
this more than I can, you know, because he's in the business and things. Me personally, I think that, you know, botches are going to happen sometimes, and there's going to be mistakes made, and I think every wrestler has to know that there's going to be mistakes, and because of the nature of the business, you know, at some point in time you could get seriously injured. And so sitting here and as long as it's not a botch all the time, and they're not putting people out there that are, you know, that are continuously, like, screwing things up, then, you know, like I said, accidents are gonna happen.
But, like, honestly though, like, I feel terrible when I laugh, but, like, it's the first thing that I can do, because I'm just like, I laugh. That's probably my first initial reaction when anybody botches anything that's, like, big.
Well,
as long as they're not, like, lying there dead in the ring, then, like, yeah, I'm probably laughing.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it.
And that's probably terrible, but it's just the truth.
There ain't a wrestler that's never botched, and there ain't a show that's never had a botch on it. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I think that probably that it's... I think as long as someone is not just, you know, Like, every time they go out, there's 14 botches in a match that they just screw up and, like, seriously hurt someone, like, every time they go out. I think that it's going to happen. There's not much you can do. At some point in time, you know, as someone that probably is in that business, they have to know that, you know, just the situation. It's like a stuntman in Hollywood, you know? They have to know at some point in time they're probably going to get messed up or have a shot at getting messed up pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly even die.
Yeah.
So you have to know that you do the things you can to be safe, but there's going to be times where just something happens, something doesn't go right, and you're going to have the injuries and things like that. So Lewis would, I would light a cig, try to do me salmon, and take light tubes to the back. I swear I'm mature. The gas powder is toxic, hence illegal here. You have to dispose of the powder in a certain way. Dan, we just don't, like, here, we just don't follow rules sometimes. You know, once in a while we just, like, do what we want to do.
Okay, but, like, now I'm going to have to look up this stupid Brock Lesnar doing a shooting star press just to, like, because I don't know that I've ever seen it.
What are you looking at?
Brock Lesnar. Didn't you say Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
You pull it up here. We're looking at the Brock Lesnar.
That wasn't terrible. That wasn't terrible.
No, that wasn't a botch. I don't know.
Hold on. Wait. Is there another one? I think there's another one.
Doesn't look like it.
There is another one.
This is an OVW. This is WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar was just killed.
He didn't even remotely, like... Kurt Angle was so far away!
Yeah,
Like, did he think he was gonna hit him?
He wasn't ever gonna make that move.
That's like...
He just DDT'd himself into the... So we just watched the Brock thing.
He didn't even remotely, like...
We just watched the Brock thing. That was crazy.
Oh, man. He didn't even remotely... Like, what was he even aiming for, bro?
Sorry, guys. I got an appointment in a few hours. I'm going to go get some sleep. Peace out. Thanks, Jack. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate that. Great having you here, Jack.
That was...
I'd love it if WWE would have WrestleMania over here. The only problem is that if it's 2 nights Mania, they can't leave for a flight on Friday after SmackDown, and it's a whopping 16-hour flight from the U.S. to the Philippines. So they'd need to have their fly Thursday night and do the go home show SmackDown for Mania here in the Philippines, as well as the Raw after Mania. Yes. Everyone have a great Thursday. Have a great night. Awesome show tonight. See y'all Friday for SmackDown. See you, James. Have a great one if you're still here. Appreciate you stopping in. I only want an Eve shirt. I'll pay the shipping. There was a stuntman on the new Fast and Furious move F9 that died when a stuntman went wrong. Yeah. See here, Brock almost killed himself. Definitely almost killed himself.
I want to know what he was. Why was Kurt Angle so
22
far away?
likes. If you have not liked the show, make sure you hit the button and like it.
Why
we
was
appreciate
Kurt Angle
everything.
so far away, though?
We'll have something in a week. Dan, when are you guys? I'm assuming you guys aren't back to doing shows because I think UK is still kind of in lockdown, aren't you?
Like,
when are you guys going back to doing shows? I'm sorry if I talk too much, guys. Lewis, no problem, man.
No, it's all good.
You're good. You're
talk
good.
Too much.
Everybody, you know, that's why we love having you guys here, is because you talk too much.
It's all good.
And some people don't talk at all.
It's all good.
It happens. It happens.
It's all
We just like having you guys here and doing the interactive chat with you guys. It's great. We love having everybody here. Try to make everybody feel welcome here.
Absolutely.
I think that we are done. I don't think we have anything else. Is there any other news? Checking the news. Checking the if you've not seen, by the way, if you haven't seen Dax's cut,
I retweeted it. It was wicked.
If you don't have Twitter,
I mean, if you don't like blood and like cuts and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
check it out. He's got a nice gash there.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
nice. Okay, the only other thing.
Talking too much is chat life. Yeah, that's right. Just
other thing,
fire away.
The only other thing that kind of I was like, what? Okay, read that comment real quick.
Which one?
From Eve.
Brock's SSP at Mania. Kurt was so far away. I don't know if Kurt being that bit closer would have meant he'd have got more height rather than the distance, or if the same thing would have happened. Just looking at it, just watching it there, it looked like if he would have...
It looked if Kurt was a bit closer, it would have been okay.
It looked like Brock was trying to go, like you said, he was trying to get more distance than height. So, I think because he was trying to get the distance, it kind of messed everything up.
And Brock went, yup, that's the last time I'm doing that.
If the same thing, then Brock would have crushed Angle on that landing. Yeah, they would have. They probably both would have been dead if they would have landed like on him and he'd done it that way. I agree.
So, the only other thing that I saw today that I was kind of like, huh, what, and it made me a bit angry, was that the Bella Twins, I don't know if it was yesterday, that they did the Hall of Fame stuff for 2020 and they filmed the video packages or whatever. But they said on their podcast that they do, I listened to that this morning, and they said that they had written like a 10-minute speech, which is generally what, like what they do for the Hall of Fame, right? And they were told that they needed to condense it down to be between 3 and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's going for everybody or not, but I was a bit like, huh? Like, because we know, like, the NWO and Hogan and all of them are going to get a decent amount of time to talk and do whatever they want to do for their speech. So, for the Bella Twins only getting like 5 minutes to do theirs between the two of them, I'm just a bit confused. And like, it's a pre-taped show.
Yeah, it is.
So why are you not giving them
I don't know. You'd think they'd
a
give
little
them
bit more time?
Who knows? Probably because they just want to get it
So
done.
now I'm going to have to watch the Hall of Fame to see how long everybody else's speeches were and see if it was just the Bella Twins or if it was everybody, because they're doing both the 2021 and 2020 Hall of Fame class.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we all know that Hogan and the NWO are going to get a decent amount of time to tell stories.
Yeah.
And to do whatever they want to do. Because it's Hogan and the NWO. So if the Bella Twins are the only ones that are going to get cut short, I'm going to be a bit upset about that. And I don't even care about the Hall of Fame, bro. It's just the principle of the thing. Like, what's the purpose of putting them in the Hall of Fame if they're not going to get to...
give their speech?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is the point?
It's dumb.
They said in the podcast that they were told, well, don't thank so many people, just talk about yourselves. Okay.
We wrestled. We're in the Hall of Fame.
Like, okay.
Thank you very much.
That's it? That's all you wanted? Then what is the point? So
by the way,
they had, and they weren't even told.
We had babies on the same day.
Based upon what they said.
We're twins.
Was that they weren't, like, they were told within the last, like, they had their speech all written, and then they were told to cut it down, and they were, like, still finishing it as of, like, a couple days ago. So I don't know how long ago Vince was like, yeah, 10 minutes isn't going to work. You need to make 5 or 3. Between 3 and 5 minutes. Like, also to just spring it on them that it can't be, like, over 5 minutes is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like, because what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, hi.
Yeah.
Thank you for this award.
The governor say we
Goodbye.
can return, or the government says we can return to shows end of April, but there's a third wave hitting Europe, so no certainty we won't go back into form of lockdown. Well, we've been kind of not in lockdowns here, and we're starting to see an uptick in, I know in our area we're seeing an uptick. We're from a small area, and we've had 27 cases in the last 3 days, so our cases are going back up. So let's get Maven a chance. Not end of April, end of June. So the end of June. Maven on Eve. The other day I was looking for the Evolution theme on YouTube, and I got the theme from the pay-per-view Evolution and not the faction Evolution. I forgot to be more specific. Generally, be more specific. You'll be able to find what you want. Yeah, that cut's pretty wicked, isn't it, Lewis? I laughed when Jericho put MJF's head in the toilet. That was what some bullies do. I thought it was funny. I thought it was good what they did there. Here's the thing. They say we come out of lockdown and shows return end of June. Majority of the talent haven't trained in a year. If they go straight back into matches, they're going to be injuries. So what talent needs to go back to training for a while first before shows? That's what I was wondering, Dan. Are you planning on making sure that that there's some how long would you need to train and kind of get back into the wrestling shape and things like that before you can start having shows? The Bellas, we like to thank John, People Power, Vince, Triple H. Well, we was the first women's revolution. We helped Bailey, Sasha and Ronda, Charlotte, and we happy to be in the Hall of Fame.
Like, legit, I don't even get the point of how are the two of them supposed to cut a speech in 5 minutes? Like, it's so, baffling.
Lame.
Because you know, I don't care what they're gonna do with it. You know a guy like Hogan and the NWO are gonna get, 45 minutes to freaking speak about whatever the heck they want to speak about.
Yeah.
And you cut the Bella's time in half. You kidding me, man? You kidding me? That's a joke.
The NWO and Eric, we was the people who made the war. Kevin, you was the big man. Yes, Scott Hall. But we was the razor at the edge. And Hogan, you next. Let me tell you something, brother. Eric in the Hall of Fame.
Hogan is going to go on forever. And the fact that they cut the Bella's time in half is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's what's the point?
Yeah.
It really made me mad.
Yes, brother, you was the Eric. Then that is for life. That's it, and then they're done.
That better be all they say. They better get 5 minutes too.
They should.
Because if we're gonna do it to one person, you better be doing it to everybody.
Yep, I agree.
I don't give a flying fig how long the NWO was together. I don't give a flying fig how big they were.
NWO.
What did I say?
NWA.
Oh, NWO, whatever.
I don't care how big the NWA is.
I don't care, bro. If you're cutting the Bella Twins time in half, you better be cutting Hogan's time in half too. Seriously.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a pre-taped show, for God's sakes. Why can't you just give them a decent amount of time?
It's hard to give a number because everyone is different, and it wouldn't surprise me if some just don't click with it again, or take longer, or get hurt in training, etc. Yeah, I could see some of that. So, how many? And also depends on how much training they get in. How many of the girls you'd have coming in have potentially been wrestling, here in the States or in Japan or someplace, have been doing something to where they're not just coming in and would be fresh? Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Having a fresh start, a completely, they've already been doing the workouts and doing everything, doing the training, getting in the ring and doing some stuff. Hulk Hogan is immortal, but his only weakness is an elbow drop from the Macho Man. That's right. If only figs could fly. Well, they can. I don't have one sitting right here by me, otherwise you'd see a fig fly.
How long do
the speeches take for the Hall of Fame usually?
Previous years, people have been given so much time. It's ridiculous.
I think that
they cut people's time last year because somebody went on for almost an hour. Who?
Was it Ric Flair?
Ric Flair what?
Well, there was one where Triple H came out and was like, hey, you got 2 minutes.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Hillbilly Jim.
Is that who it was?
I think so.
Because Triple H came out and told someone, and then they just kept going, and they were like, no, really,
that was after when they started cutting time, and then last year they still gave people a significant amount of time, and the year before that they gave people a significant amount of time. But to cut them down in half is ridiculous. For a pre-tape show, it's stupid.
Pretty much.
Especially when their speech was only 10 minutes long to begin with.
Yeah.
You kidding me, man?
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
So.
Like I said, it just made me mad.
Yeah. I can tell.
The disrespect is real.
The anger is real.
It is.
The rage
stupid.
is real.
I don't even care about the Hall of Fame, but that's just another level, bro.
Another
you kidding
level.
me?
It went
If
from
the Hall
here
of Fame didn't already mean something, if you're gonna be like disrespectful to the people that are going in and not even give them like time to be all like, yeah, we want to thank this person and that person for like helping us become Hall of Famers, like, it's a joke. It's a joke.
I want to thank my dog for allowing me to be here. He helped me out. We did a lot of training together.
Legit, all they're gonna have time to say is, Bree, I would like to thank you. And Bree's gonna be all like, Nikki, I would like to thank you. And that's it. That's
Thank
our
you very much.
Bye, guys. Thanks. Thanks for making us Hall of Famers.
All right, guys. I think we're going to take off. We will be back Friday, and we will have more idea on what we're going to do. We can't fly anyone in here as there's a 2-week quarantine when arriving in the UK from certain countries, but I think US has no entry at the moment, and Japan has 2-week quarantine on return. Hey, yes, Dan, we don't care. You have COVID? Come on in.
It's all good.
We'll let you. Crap, my phone has been on a screen with wrestling content since 6:30 p.m. It's 12:08, and I cleaned a parking lot in 2 of them hours. Well, we're glad that we can help you out, Lewis. We're glad that we can entertain you as we go along. It's been awesome. It's been great. And we hope we make your day great. Hi, guys. James, you're back again. How do you make orders? I seen a phone case I can use. Where are you ordering it through? There should be, depending on where you order it from. That's what I would say. Thank you. No, thank you, Grant. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Hope to see you back again. Because,
yes.
We've enjoyed this. Like I said, the more we get in
fun
here,
chatting
it's
with
great.
everybody.
Clean another lot at 7 a.m. Cool. And I would like to be introduced, the whole effing show. my Rob Van Dam. Sup, dude? It was me, RVD, former world champion. And I'm the whole effing show. I was the bro before the bro. So if we flew someone in from Japan, they'd need to quarantine 2 weeks here before performance, and then they'd need to quarantine 2 weeks on return. So that's a month they'd be quarantining, losing work. Yeah, that's quite a while.
So then you're almost.
I could see why it'd be difficult trying to get people in.
Definitely.
We too have a 2-week quarantine, and U.S. is one of the countries included in our travel bans.
Well, nobody wants us. That's okay.
John Elite, what are you saying?
I'm not planning on leaving the country anytime soon, but I get it. People from the U.S. Not cool. So, with that,
I can't believe that we are travel banned from going to some countries.
With that.
The crap is that?
With that, I think we will be back.
You can see me. See this booth. Well, I'm glad that we can see you because in just a second, you can't see us.
So we'll be back Friday. So yeah, come back Friday. Talk to us. We're reviewing SmackDown. Should be
SmackDown review.
Epic.
We'll talk about our schedule for next week. As next week is going to be, actually the next 2 weeks are going to be really busy.
Crazy.
Riddle Team hits bro. What's up, bro? How you though, bro? You are RVD, though. I was impressive. Bro. Bro, let's do RVD. Good night, guys. Thank you, fans, everybody, and the people. RVD. Scuff Streamer, you're here. It's been a while.
Just as we're leaving.
Man, when it's been a while since we've seen you.
Sophisticated look.
Where's he been?
Yeah, Mr. G looks fabulous.
I thought he was talking about me.
Clearly he was. Sophisticated. You look very sophisticated.
Yeah, oh, yes, thanks.
AEW Double or Nothing, your
appreciate that.
Hat. Sophisticated. Absolutely.
Maven's actually got those on because she's got
I did a makeup look
look that's
and I needed
gonna be coming out.
Fake glasses.
When are you kicking it out?
I don't know. Next week sometime, probably.
Next week sometime. She has a makeup look.
I have to finish the video this week.
Yeah. I think US is on our travel ban too.
What?
We're on everybody's travel ban.
Ah, man.
I can't leave the country because nobody wants us.
Yeah.
When Ogogo flew to the US for AEW, he had to travel via other countries and quarantine there. Man, just nobody wants us. Nobody wants us.
Clearly, with good, it makes sense.
Maven, you look like the Hall of Fame, the Great Khali, going to take long. Kane going to wear his ring gear at the Hall of Fame? I don't know. He should.
No, he's not going to.
Our government said that not me. See you Friday. See you Friday, generally. Appreciate that. I look on Insta then.
Yeah.
Yes, you should, Scuff Streamer. You should. I do the Kane Friday for Hall of Fame, Gleen, Maven. Hey guys, how do you place orders if seen on a phone case I can use? Like, James, where are you trying to order from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I love the glasses. Thank you. I appreciate that, you know?
Thanks.
I appreciate, you know.
Some
I'm glad you noticed, Grant.
Pop the lenses out of. Should I drop the link?
I watched the little Oh, the stop motion movie? Yeah, I made that. Did you like it? Or whatever it's called. Yeah, stop motion. I made that, like, it's been like 3 or 4 years now that I've made that. What are you doing?
Dropping the link.
Oh, you're going to drop your Instagram link in? So everybody can check you out?
Yeah.
All right, I'm on bounce. Good catching up, you guys. Good show as always. Much love to you and everyone in the chat. Thanks, Dan. We appreciate that. We love your insight on, you know, the inner workings of the business. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Maven is dropping her Instagram link right now in the chat. So if you have not seen her Instagram, she does some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, recently
If you have not seen her, like, she does special effects stuff, like, you know, like burn looks. She had a card going through her cheek that was pretty cool here just a while back. So check out her Instagram because there's some pretty cool pictures on there. Maven's going to smile when they play Bree mode. Gleen, or you can look. Yeah, it was awesome. Yes, definitely awesome. Everybody, thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody that's coming to chat, we appreciate everybody that's been here tonight. Stay safe. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Have a good one. Peace out. We are back Friday.